you're probably looking at the title of this latest video and thinking, what on earth is going on? Has Pete lost his mind? Well, that is a moot point. Some people think I did a long time ago. But be that as it may, the word juggling. Are we doing stick tricks, throwing things around in the air, channeling sunny pain? No, we're not. The reason I call this method juggling, and it's this very relaxed, very circular kind of wrist motion that I was doing a moment ago, is because it feels very similar to the same kind of wrist and forearm motion you would use to do this with the ball. So the momentum is coming from underneath to launch the ball upwards. And the same thing is true of the stick. We're quite palm up here. I'm using the whole hand fulcrum method that I've talked about in recent videos, and it's worth checking that out. That's going to be important in a moment. So this is a really relaxed motion. There's no locking down, there's no tension at the end of the stroke. The stick is as relaxed as it can be when it makes contact with the playing surface. So just to begin with, do this motion, go through some various stick heights and dynamic levels until it gets comfortable. If you watch the tip of the stick, it's almost describing like a teardrop shape. So as I say, there is this very circular aspect to this motion. So now we've got that feeling comfortable. Let's find an upstroke in the left hand. So I'm using my whole hand fulcrum method. And at the moment, to make this stroke, I'm using the wrist, I'm using the thumb, and I'm using the middle finger and the ring finger. The index finger is not doing anything to make this stroke. And that's what's really important here. So what I'm going to do, as the stick makes this circular motion, I'm going to drop in the index finger in between to create the upstroke. Now what's important here is because the index finger works the way it is, the way our hands are wired up, it is able to function completely independently of the thumb, middle and ring fingers that are making the lateral wrist motion. So what happens is the wrist motion stays the same, but I'm able to drop in the index finger motion, and the two are not in any way connected. This is really important. This is the essence of the whole hand fulcrum method. These parts of the hand working completely independently of one another. So the index finger upstroke is part of the whole motion. The wrist is turning inwards, the forearm is lifting slightly. And with practice and application, you'll be able to get this under control. What I'm working on with this in my own playing is to try and get uniformity of tone quality between the wrist stroke and the upstroke. I might not necessarily want that though, and here's a good practice method. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play jazz ride cymbal, and I'm going to do the wrist stroke and the upstroke as the first and second notes of an 8th note triplet. So, what parts of the whole hand fulcrum could we deploy to create the third triplet? Well, one I like to do is just to drop the ring finger like so. Or you can tap the stick with the middle finger, or you can do like a double tap. using a small finger motion with the index finger on the back of the upstring. So let's do those in turn. Dropping the third finger. Dropping the third finger slowly. Tapping with the middle finger. Doing the double tap with the index finger. I'll do some close-up stuff so you can just really focus on the hands at some point. If anybody's interested in seeing it, let me know, and I'll get another camera or find a, do something in the kitchen with pots and pans behind me instead of cymbals and drum heads and jazz albums. So, great way of practicing that is, as I just did then, put some Ted Reed syncopation in the bass drum like this. First line at page 38, you all know that. Another way you can do this is to put the accent on the upbeat triplet. So instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you could do this in syncopated eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the third beat of the second bar, I'm going, just putting an extra tap in there. So it makes it resolve to a 2-bar phrase. So lots to do here. If you've got any questions, you can WhatsApp me, you can Facebook me, email me, whatever you like. Ring the bell, subscribe, and I'll be back with another tutorial very, very soon. Thank you for watching.